What's going on, everybody? Happy New Year to everyone watching. I'm super excited, super ready to get going with January 2022. Ready for a new year. I hope everyone's new year has been amazing so far. This series is basically going to be me going through past videos and other projects I have coming up. If it's a project I edited, I'll show you my timeline. If I was only the DP, I'll probably get the footage and then go through shot by shot what the process was going into it. But I think it's gonna be really cool, and it's also because I get to show my own work and kind of show you my process and how I create. As you can see from the title and the thumbnail of this video, me and the artist in the video had a little bit of a disagreement creatively. So I'm gonna also talk about that a little bit and how to handle those sort of things when you're doing shoots. With all that being said, welcome to the breakdown. Okay, so now we're over here into the timeline. If you want to watch the full music video, I will link that below in the description. I'm not going to be playing any of the music because I don't want to get copyright claims. So there's that. So as you can see, here's my timeline. First off, I edit in Davinci Resolve. For most of my editing career, I actually edited in Premiere, like probably most people do. But I came to really like this program. I mean, it's really cool. It is free, so if you don't want to spend money on an editing program, I definitely would suggest it. It's really good. I'm actually editing in the free version myself. I have not upgraded to the full studio version. I plan to at some point. I just honestly have not needed to, and I've been editing in this for over a year now, and I've been fine with all my projects. So yeah, I've seen crazier timelines, and maybe there's a way I could have also made it neater. I honestly didn't really do anything crazy in terms of color correction on this music video. The artist needed it back really quickly, so I didn't have a whole lot of time. I had like maybe a couple of days to work on it. I pretty much just went with what I had in camera. I shoot in a Canon 90D, so it wasn't, I didn't shoot log or anything like that. But it worked out. It was really cool because in this video, we had a whole different plan for what we wanted to do. But as you know, with low budget films and even higher budget, projects, things don't always go as planned. So we had to work around it. This is actually in the artist Tre'Gadd, his girlfriend's apartment. We didn't care that it was in an apartment. We actually were going to go for that vibe, more of a grungy underground party vibe. But it was really cool because we actually were able to get our hands on a smoke machine. So that added a lot. The artist brought in an LED strip. That helped a lot. So it was one of those situations where a lot of things just came into play really well. So a lot of what makes this video to me pop is what we did on set. So you probably hear it a lot. People say, do as much in camera as possible. The editing, there really isn't a lot going on here. I actually tried to do more stuff, and this is where the whole title of the video and thumbnail comes into play. I wanted to do a lot more crazier edits, transitions, and graphics, more flashy stuff. But the artist actually did not like that. He was like, I did a pass through, and I'll actually show you some of those clips. I did a pass where I had a lot more, graphics and crazier stuff happening. And he was like, yeah, no, I don't like that. Take it out. And I was like, really? I thought this was cool. So, that's one of those things sometimes that happens. I'm not mad that I did it. I mean, I guess you could look at it as somewhat of a time waster. I probably should have talked to him beforehand. And we kind of were doing this on the fly. We talked about it, but we didn't have a lot of prep time going in. And the day of, honestly, things were shifting locations. We didn't have anything locked until a couple of hours before we started shooting. So it was a lot of other ideas that we had that we threw out the window, and we never really talked about what the final product would look like. In hindsight, I have shot another video, which I'll probably do a breakdown on that one. I've shot another video with Tre'Gadd before, and that one was very simplistic in my cutting. And I should have probably took that into consideration, that's more of his style. But I was like, I got so caught up in the vibe of this video and the whole, I don't know, this whole rugged people with skull caps on vibe and these lights. I was like, oh, let's make this thing crazy. And I went overboard. But I'm not mad that I did it because I came up with I thought some pretty interesting ideas. It didn't work for this video, but I can take some of that for another video at some point down the road. But yeah, so first shot, you see, these are just some quick cuts. I just wanted to try to match to the beat. That's one of those tricks you learn when you do music videos. Cut to the beat. It helps keep the video moving. keeps it interesting and people engaged. What I was trying to do was every time there was a hit, there was a shot change. I think narratively when I edit, a big part of my background is narrative work. So I'm like, okay, let me kind of do some foreshadowing and show you some of what you're gonna see. Even though it's not this extensive, I'm doing a whole story with this edit. It was more of a, oh yeah, let me just kind of give you some teasers here in the beginning and show you what's coming up in the video. So, you know, just kind of come up with creative ideas. None of this was talked about. It was more stuff I just kind of came up with while editing. The other thing I like about Davinci Resolve is they have a lot of templates built into the system. I didn't pull in any third-party plugins or anything for this video. Everything I did from a graphic standpoint, from transitions, from text animations, all of it was right here with what's inside of Davinci Resolve. So that's why I like this program so much. I didn't even use Fusion or anything like that. All of it was just like the templates that they have here on the edit page. So this shot, you know, it was kind of one of those things. I shot this on the Canon 90D on my Ronin SC, and we just got a crowd of people, as many people as we could get. I had the idea while we were there, I said, hey, let's put the flashlights on. Having the haze, the light rays bouncing off the haze was just perfect. We had the LED strip on the floor underneath of this table he's standing on. It's kind of like a makeshift platform, but I think it really helped it work. It really worked out. It's kind of like the whole vibe that he's coming into this show to do this, you know, this concert, but it has this underground type vibe to it that I really like. So there was one transition there that I did. I think it was I don't remember what transition that was. Oh, right here. That was a camera shake. So yeah, they have some cool transitions in here. I mean, like I said, I had a whole lot more transitions because I was trying to do a bunch of crazy stuff. It didn't work out that way. But you know, just talk about some of the shots. I think we had a total of 4 or 5 different shots that we got. And we did some slow motion stuff that was pretty cool. We shot 120 frames per second in some spots. Like I said, it wasn't crazy. I had one light set up and a bunch of cell phone flashlights, and it really just fit the vibe. That may not work for everything you do, but this is one of those cases where, you know, it fit the vibe. It was that grungy look. This video has a lot of noise in it because I was shooting in super low light situation, but that honestly to me fits the vibe. It's one of those things where I think I would have wanted to add noise to really give it some more texture. This was a cool shot. It's probably one of my favorite shots in the video. I don't remember whose idea. I think it may have been my idea to do the first person shot, but I'm not positive. If it was, it may have been someone else's. I really don't remember. But basically, I don't want to really go into the story of this video, but at this part of the video, they're like, you know, boxing and fighting, and I thought it would be cool to have a, you know, point of view shot, or someone thought it was cool. I don't really remember, but it came out cool to me. And I really liked how this came out because I was like, man, right here, I felt like, I don't know, Creed vibes, like you're in a boxing ring and you have all these lights behind you. It just kind of gave me that vibe. I think it worked out pretty well. It was a lot of just basic cuts. I mean, nothing crazy going on here. What really helped make this video, honestly, were the LED light, the flashlights, the haze for sure. It added all that texture, and really just, you know, it's simple. It was a one just me shooting. Set the light was pretty much, they were just worked around what we had. The space wasn't that big, but adding that haze really extends it out because it's like, you feel like you're in a bigger space than you are because you don't really know exactly, you can't really see the walls all that well because of the haze adding that atmosphere. So this is one of those cases where sometimes people will put haze in the video and it's just there to have texture. And not that it's wrong, but this is the case where I really believe that it helped because it helped cover up a lot of what we did not have, which I think was, you know, a smart decision. I like this shot. None of these shots honestly were planned. It was more of a, hey, it's gonna be a performance shot. Go and get some B-roll. I need shots of me rapping, and let's do that. And that's kind of like how we go. I've shot with him before, and that's kind of what we do. We just, let's get a couple of the performance shots, some B-roll shots, and then you do what you do in the editing room. It's kind of how it goes. This was the light that we were shooting on. I didn't even bring this light. One of Tre'Gadd's friends was there doing some photography, and he brought a light, and I was like, oh man, I like that light is perfect. So it's cool too, because with this video, we could pretty much do whatever we wanted. And I feel like that's kind of how it is with music videos, especially rap videos, because it's so much about the performer, and it's not really about you want to make an image clean. And it all depends on the song, it all depends on what you're trying to do. You want your image to be clean, you want everything to be prepared and all those things. But sometimes you get those happy accidents. The light just happened to look like a cool light that he could perform in front of. Kind of gives it that, if he was in front of his big light wall, and it's not a big light wall, but you kind of get that vibe of like, oh man, look at that cool aesthetic looking light back there. And because you got all this haze behind, you don't even really know where you are. Are we in a studio? What's going on? He had the light wrapped around him. That was a cool idea. And that's kind of the theme throughout the video, because for most of the shots you see the LED strip, and then we have some shots here later on where there are people who are dancing like up against the wall. And I think a couple of them, like this is one of them, but you can see the LED light running behind everybody. So that was a nice little common theme going on there. Let's back up. Yeah, this is one of the shots here. So it just kind of like was that theme. And for the message of the video, I feel like it also helped make sense. So I definitely would say go watch the video to get the full context of the story. I don't want to go into all of that. This isn't necessarily a story breakdown. Like I said, I was the DP on this. I have to give director credit to the artist, because he really knew what he wanted going into it, and he was the one who came up with the concept and story for the video, which I feel like sometimes it can happen when you're working with independent artists. They don't know exactly what they want, and you kind of just step in where you, as a videographer, you step in where you're needed. They're like, do you need me to be a director? I can step in and do that. Do you need me just to be the DP? That's cool too. So we pretty much shared director credits on this, but I see to him, like I said, this came out of his head. I just helped bring it to life with the camera and the editing. But it was a good collaboration. What made this video, in my opinion, was all of what we did on set. This is one of those videos I wanted to try to make a lot more complex in the edit, but it didn't need it. Actually, yeah, I said I was gonna show this. Let me go ahead and show it. So I'm gonna just play this from the beginning and show some of what I was doing before. And it's kind of subtle. So I had a lot more effects, like that little, I don't know what to call it. I think it was like a ripple wave. I think it's called like a ripple wave effect or something like that. Let me open this up. Like a ripple or wave effect. And what is this one called? It's called Drop Warp. I really liked it because I felt like it really matched the sound effect that was in the music. But like I said, you can't force something. If the director doesn't want it, the director doesn't want it. And I actually, looking at it, agree that it doesn't need it. It can be simple. And I had a bunch of cuts going because I was like, I think it needs all these cuts. And then I was trying to go for this weird, otherworldly vibe. So where it's like you're getting teleported into this mosh pit, you're getting teleported into this realm and these neon lights and all that stuff. So I found some different assets on different sites and was just trying a bunch of stuff. And like I said, it didn't work out for this video. Looking at it now, it probably is a little over the top and cheesy. And like, yeah, I probably need to do all that. But I'm not mad because I never tried anything like that before. So it was cool to go in and try something different. I think that was the only one. Yeah, I think it was just pretty much the intro because he was cool at everything else. Like everything else was fine. It was just that. But that is the one spot where we disagreed. I was like, dang, I think it was cool. I like doing this other type of stuff. And honestly, some of it, like the text was just a placeholder. I mean, I would have probably matched the text up to what we ended up with. That this was just me testing it out. So I I was just trying stuff because we had the LED strip light. So in my mind, I'm thinking, ooh, LED stuff. So I went on like Pexels.com and some other free sites with royalty-free footage and assets, and was looking for like LED, really interesting stuff with people like on like colored lights, people on white backdrops dancing, kind of like what we ended up with here in the video. But I was just gonna try to amp it up and put all this other stuff in it. But like I have said throughout this video, that's not what it needed. This video had a life of its own without all of that, and it just needed to be cut together well. I don't really know if I would do anything different, other than only thing I think I would do different is more prep time. But given that it was just me shooting, we didn't really have a lot of stuff to work with, a lot of gear to work with. Our location we just got that day that we shot, and we did it all like an hour and a half. So 4 different shots, a whole music video for like an hour and a half with a bunch of different shots. We ran through it. It helped that the song wasn't that long. The longest part of this whole process was editing. But anyway, that's it. Thank you so much for watching the first episode of The Breakdown. Again, Happy New Year to everyone watching, to everyone who's subscribed, everyone who keeps coming back to see these videos. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. I do not take it for granted. So until next time, peace. I'm super excited about this new series I'm starting called The Breakdown, where I go into projects of... Faye, hush. Sorry, that's my dog over there making a bunch of noise. It's my wife. Kayla just walked by, taking on our dog. So, you know, hopefully she didn't make noise throughout this entire video. Because she did, that stinks. But hey, maybe she'll help me get more views because people like dogs. But I think people only like to see dogs. Doesn't probably count when you hear it and can't see it. So